George and Riley are having a conversation, and in a fit of rage, George says to Riley, "Well, I had sex with your wife." Unbeknownst to George, Riley was secretly recording their conversation and has a tape recording of the entire conversation, including George's allegedly defamatory remark about Riley's wife, namely slander per se, saying that she is an unchaste woman and an adulteress. In Riley's wife's action against George, she wishes to introduce testimony by Riley as to the conversation. George objects, citing that the best evidence rule requires that the recording of the conversation be admitted and precluding testimony about the conversation. Does the best evidence rule require the outcome that George urges or suggests? And the answer is no. That the best evidence rule operates in certain instances to require the original document be entered into evidence unless some showing can be made as to why it is not available. Here, the recording of the conversation is not an original, it is a copy of this ephemeral conversation that happened between George and Riley. It's just a document evidencing something that has already occurred. It itself is not the original document. Further, they're not trying to prove the underlying facts of the assertion that George made. Whether or not George actually slept with Riley's wife may be key to George asserting a defense of truth, if that's the case, but Riley's wife, in bringing this testimony, is bringing it out to show that the defamatory act was committed, and it was committed as soon as Riley heard it, whether it was being recorded or not, and therefore the recording is not necessary for the defamation to have occurred, and it is not therefore required under the best evidence rule. For more on this, you can look at Federal Rules of Evidence 1002, although it's a very short rule. There's more in the comment than the rule itself.